This is the voice in the wilderness of the people, coming to you in a great wind. This is the day that EZER has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I pray that EZER has kept you in good health, with great strength, that He have protected you from all danger, from all accidents, and from all iniquities. He have healed your body from all sicknesses. I pray that you call on His name and He has answered your prayers. And I pray that you glorify Him for answering your supplications. I say to our Father who is in heaven, praise be to your name, for your sanctuary will come on earth one day, now as it is in heaven. We ask you to give us every day our daily bread, and to forgive us our sins as we forgive those that sin against us. That is, you will be our judge, so we are not should be tempted to judge them. For it is your power and it is your glory. Keep us from all evil, O EZER. Be our shepherd and let us never be in want. Make us to lie down in your green pasture. Lead us beside your still waters. Restore our soul in your path of righteousness, even for your name's sake. And as we walk through this valley of shadow of death, let us fear no evil. Be with us. Let your rod and your holy staff guide us and protect us all the days of our lives. Prepare before us your table while we still among our enemies. Anoint our head with your holy oil. Fill our cup until it overflow. And let your goodness be with us all the days of our life. As I lift up my eyes unto you, from where cometh my help? My help comes from you, EZER, who made heaven and earth. You shall not suffer me to be moved. You who keep me shall not slumber. Behold, you who keep Israel, EZER, shall neither slumber nor sleep. EZER be my keeper, EZER be the shade upon my right hand. Let not the sun smite me by day, nor the moon by night. Preserve me from all evil. EZER, preserve my soul. Keep my going out and my coming in, from this time forth and forevermore. O my Father, Father of Abraham and of Isaac and of Jacob, you who created me in your image and in your likeness, you have put upon me your name, you have named me after yourself. O EZER, my Redeemer, and has given me your commandments that I may do them, and have made all your promises available to me. O EZER, my Redeemer, I know, and I pray that you let your sons and your daughters know that when we call on your name, when we do your commandments, then we shall receive your promises. So I thank you, EZER, for everything. I thank you for your name that you gave unto me. I thank you for your commandments that you have instructed me with. And I thank you for your promises. I beg that you teach me all your words, O EZER, that I may know them. Then I will be able to answer all those who seek to reproach me. O EZER, my Redeemer, for you are my rock and my refuge, my shield and my buckler. Stand up for my cause. Stand up for my cause and fight against those that fight against me. O EZER, my Redeemer, you are my judge. You are my Savior. You are the giver of my salvation. Hear me, EZER, when I call, and answer me. EZER, you are great. EZER, you are great, and your name is excellent in all the earth. Today, my brothers and sisters, I take this opportunity that IAH has given me once more to present his name unto you. My dear brothers and sisters, this video is based on IAH's name. And I say this to you, whoever will hear this video, if you adhere, you may adhere. And if you forbear, you forbear. You do this at the cost of your own soul. Our Redeemer has allowed you to hear this video today. So please, take it seriously. The scriptures I will give you today, you may read them in full. I'm only going to the verse that I want to read to you, but I would like you to study those scriptures that I'm giving you today, that you may know and seek to know the name of your Redeemer, the Holy One of EZER-IAH. So my dear brothers and sisters, I will start with you today. I will first go in the book of Deuteronomy. And in Deuteronomy, I will go to chapter 12. And I will read verse 5. It states, "But you shall seek IAH at the place that IAH your Redeemer will choose from all your tribes to establish his name there for his dwelling. And there you shall come." IAH is telling us he have chosen a place, and that place is called by his name. And we are to go to that place because this is what IAH promised us, a land, a holy land. He promised us a place where we will be safe. So here he's telling us about that place that he has, where he put his name, and that's the place where we have to go. My dear brothers and sisters, for us to go to that place, we have to know his name. And IAH has not left us without his name. I pray that you will listen to this video and you will see clearly what is the name of our Redeemer. Now I will take you to Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 11. And it states, "Then it shall come about that the place that IAH our Redeemer will choose for his name to dwell, there you shall bring all that I command you, your burnt offering, your sacrifice, your tithes, your contributions of your hand, and all your choice votive offering, which you will vow to IAH." Here IAH is telling us there is a place where we will have to take our offerings, where we will have to make our sacrifice unto him. There is a special place, a place that he have chosen and has put his name in that place, and his name will dwell there forever. I will now take you to Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 21. "If the place that IAH your Redeemer chooses to put his name is too far from you, when you may slaughter of your herd and the flock which IAH has given you, as IAH have commanded you, and you may eat within your gates whatever you desire." IAH is saying, if it's too far from the place where he set his name for you, then you will have to do it within your gates. that is in that land, we will have to do it in our gates if we cannot get to the place where he set his name. I take you to Deuteronomy 16 verses 2. You shall sacrifice the Passover to EZER your Redeemer from the flock and the herd in the place where EZER chooses to establish his name. The Passover is to be done in the place where EZER have chosen and set his name. Deuteronomy 16 verses 6. But at the place where EZER your Redeemer chooses to establish his name, you shall sacrifice the Passover in the evening at sunset, at the time that you come out of Egypt. Here, the Most High has given us two lessons here. He have told us we have to go in the land where he have established his name. And he also tells us when the day begins. He says in the evening at sunset. So sunset is the evening, not the beginning of a day. It's the ending of the day. Now I take you to Deuteronomy chapter 16 verse 11. You shall rejoice before EZER your Redeemer, you and your sons and your daughters, and your males and female servants, and the Levites who is in your town, and the stranger and the orphan and the widow who are in your midst, in the place where EZER your Redeemer chooses to establish his name. I will take you to Deuteronomy chapter 26 verses 2. That you shall take some of the first of all the produce of the ground, which you bring in from your land, that EZER your Redeemer gives you, and you shall put it in a basket, and go to the place where EZER your Redeemer chooses to establish his name. My dear brothers and sisters, I hope you're getting the point. I will take you now to 1 Kings chapter 14 verse 21. Now Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, reigned in Judea. Rehoboam was 41 years old when he became king, and he reigned 70 years in Jerusalem, the city that is our Redeemer had chosen for all the tribe of Israel to put his name there. And his mother's name was Naamah the Amorite. He says here, the city that EZER had chosen from all the tribes of Israel to put his name there. Out of all the different lands, the portion of land for our nation, here he's telling you that there is a special place in that land that is called by EZER's name. He's telling you it's Jerusalem. But I will give you the name. You will see it for yourself. Let us go to Nehemiah chapter 19. It reads, but if you return to me and keep my commandments and do them, those of you who have been scattered were in the most remote part of the heaven, I will gather you from there and will bring them to the place where I have chosen to cause his name to dwell, his name to dwell. 1 Kings chapter 5 verse 3. You know that David my father was unable to build a house for the name of EZER, our Redeemer, because he was which surrounded him, until EZER put them under the sole of his feet. Behold, that's 1 Kings chapter 5 verse 5. Behold, I intend to build a house for the name of EZER my Redeemer, as EZER spoke to David my father, saying, your son, whom I will set on your throne in your place, he will build a house for my name. 1 Kings chapter 8 verse 16. Since the day that I brought my people Israel from Egypt, I did not choose a city out of all the tribes of Israel in which to build a house, that my name might be there. But I chose David to be over my people Israel. 1 Kings chapter 8 verse 17. Now it was in the heart of my father David to build a house for the name of EZER, our Redeemer of Israel. 1 Kings chapter 8 verse 18. But EZER said to my father David, because it was in your heart to build a house for my name, you did well that it was in your heart. 1 Kings chapter 8 verse 19. Nevertheless, you shall not build a house, but your son, who will be born to you, he will build a house for EZER's name. 1 Kings 8:20. Now EZER has fulfilled his word which he spoke, for I have risen in place of my father David, and sit on the throne of Israel as EZER promised, and have built the house for the name of EZER, our Redeemer of Israel. 1 Kings chapter 8 44. When your people go out to battle against the enemy, by whatever way they shall send them, and they pray to EZER towards the city which you have chosen, the house which I have built for your name. That's 1 Kings chapter 8 44. 1 Kings 8 48. If they return to you with all their heart, with all their soul, in the land of their enemies, who have taken them captive, and pray to you towards their land, which you have given to their fathers, the city which you have chosen, and the house which I have built for your name. 1 Kings chapter 9 verse 3. EZER said to him, I have heard your prayer and your supplication, which you have made before me. I have consecrated this house, which you have built, by putting my name there forever, and my eyes. Now, my dear brothers and sisters, I will take you to 1 Kings chapter 8 43. Here in heaven you dwelling place, and do according to all for which the foreigners call to you, in order that all the people of the earth may know your name, to fear you, as to do your people Israel, that they may know that this house which I have built is called by your name. My dear brothers and sisters, they are telling us that the land is called by his name, and the house was called by his name, and the people was called by his name. Jeremiah chapter 7 verse 10. Then come and stand before me in this house, which is called by my name, and say, we are delivered, that you may do all these abominations. Then we go to Jeremiah chapter 7 verse 11. Has this house, which is called by our name, become a den of robbers in your sight? Behold, even I have seen it, declare IAH. Go 1 Kings 8:29. That your eyes may be open towards this house night and day, towards the place of which you have said, his name shall be there, to listen to the prayer which your servant shall pray towards this place. IAH is listening to our prayers. We have to look towards the place where his name was placed. I take you to 1 Kings 23:27. And IAH said, I will remove Judea also from my sight, as I have removed EZER-IAH, and I will cast off Jerusalem, this city which I have chosen, and the temple of which I said, my name shall be there. Ezra 6:12. May IAH, who has caused his name to dwell there, overthrow any king or people who attempt to change it, so as to destroy this house of IAH in Jerusalem. Darius have issued this decree. Let it be carried out with all diligence. 2 Kings chapter 21 verse 4. He built altar in the house of IAH, of which IAH has said, in Jerusalem I will put my name. 2 Kings 21:7. Then he set the carven image of Asherah that he had made in the house which IAH said to David and to his son Solomon, in this house and in Jerusalem, which I have chosen from all the tribes of Israel, he will put his name there forever. They brought an idol into the place, into the house that was built for his name. But to his son, this is 1 Kings 11:36. But to his son I will give one tribe, that my servant David may have a lamp always before him in Jerusalem, the city where I have chosen for myself to put my name. Here IAH is telling you, he has promised David he will choose one tribe. He says, I will read it. But to his son I will give one tribe, that my servant David may have a lamp always before me in Jerusalem. Who was that tribe? The tribe of Judah. That's the tribe he set in Jerusalem, so his name will be established there. Or Daniel chapter 9 verse 18. O my Redeemer, incline your ear and hear. Open your eyes and see our desolation and the city that is called by your name. For we are not presenting our supplication before you on account of our merits, our own, but on the account of your great compassion. My dear brothers and sisters, IAH is talking to us. Jeremiah 25 verse 29. For behold, I am beginning to work calamity in this city, which is called by my name, and shall completely free from punishment. You will not be free from punishment, for IAH a sword against all the inhabitants of the earth, declares IAH of hosts. Here he's telling them, because of what they are doing, they will not escape the sword. And where was they doing it? In his city that is called by his name. Jeremiah 32 verse 34. But they put their detestable things in the house which is called by his name, to defile it. Jeremiah 7:14. Therefore, I will do to the house which is called by my name, in which you trust, and to the place which I gave you and your fathers, as I did to Shiloh. Jeremiah 7:12. But go now to my place, which was in Shiloh, where I made my name dwell at the first, and see that I did to it because of the wickedness of my people Israel. EZER-IAH is telling us we have his name. We need to keep his commandments. We need to stop doing the things we are doing, my brothers and sisters. We need to stop doing this evil thing, this idol worship. We are to turn to EZER and call on his name. Here he's telling us, go. He was telling them, go and see what I've done to these people. These people who I gave my name, and they refused it. See what I've done to them. In Ezekiel 48:35, the city shall be 18,000 cubits round about, and the name of the city from that day shall be EZER is here. Here he's telling them the name of the city is EZER is there. So EZER is telling you his name is on that city. So now, my brothers and sisters, I will take you in the book, and we will go in Genesis chapter 13, and we will read 11. In Genesis chapter 13, I will go in verse 4, and it's read, unto the place of the altar which he had made there at the first, and there Abraham called on the name of EZER. Our ancestor Abraham called on the name of EZER. My dear brothers and sisters, they all called on his name. I will now take you to Genesis chapter 21. Genesis 21. And I will go to verse 33. As I said, I want you to read the chapters. I'm just giving you an instance, but I want you to read the chapters so you may get what it is saying to you. So here I am now in Genesis chapter 21. Genesis 21 and verses 33. And it reads, and Abraham planted a grove in Beersheba and called there on the name of EZER, our everlasting Redeemer. He's showing you Abraham was calling on his name. Abraham was calling on his name. Abraham had a name for the Most High. I'll take you to Genesis 32. And in Genesis chapter 32, Genesis 32, Genesis 32, I will read verse 9. And Jacob said, O EZER of my father Abraham and the father Isaac, which said unto me, return unto thy country and to thy kindred, and I will deal with you there. My dear brothers and sisters, we have to look towards that land. That's the promise Ayah made to us, knowing that one day we will have to go back to that land. If we keep his commandments, if we follow him diligently, we will go back to that land. We have to keep our eyes on the ball. In Genesis chapter 32, verse 28, we read, "And he said, Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but EZER-IAH. For as a prince hast thou power with Ayah and with men, and has prevailed. And Jacob asked him and said, Tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, Where is it that thou dost ask after my name? And he blessed him there. And Jacob called the name of that place Peniel. They have in your book Peniel. Remember, that L came from the Talmud, from the Babylonians. The place was called Peniel. And that, you can see that name in 1 Samuel chapter 1, verse 2. In Exodus chapter 3, from verse 13, we read, And Moses said unto Ayah, Behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, Ayah, your Redeemer of the fathers, the mighty one of thy fathers, has sent me unto you. And they shall say to me, What is his name? What shall I say unto them? And Ayah said unto Shemaiah, I am Ayah. And he said, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, Ayah have sent me unto you. And Ayah said moreover unto Shemaiah, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, Ayah your Redeemer, the mighty one of your fathers, the mighty one of Abraham, the one of Isaac, and the one of Jacob have sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generation. My brothers and sisters, this is in the scripture where Ayah gave us his name. Ayah did not give us his name in chapter 6 with the Tetragrammaton. The Tetragrammaton was from the Babylonian Talmud. And that's where you get all these other names that you have. All the Babylonian names. You have the L-O-R-D, the G-O-D. You have the Yahweh and Jehovah. That's where these names came from, the names of blasphemy. This here in chapter 3, verse 13 and 14, here is where Ayah gave us his name. And he told us this is forever a memorial to all generation. We are not to change his name. Take you now to Exodus chapter 32, verses 30 and to 34. Here we see, it reads, And it came to pass on the morrow that Shemaiah Moses said unto the people, You have sinned a great sin, and now I will go up unto Ayah, peradventure I shall make an atonement for your sins. And Shemaiah returned unto Ayah and said, Oh, these people have sinned a great sin, and have made them gods of gold. Yet now, if thou wilt forgive their sins, and if not, blot him out, he pray. He's asking the Most High, if you wouldn't forgive their sins, then take me out for them. Destroy me, but don't destroy them. Out of thy book which thou hast written. And Ayah said unto Shemaiah, Whoever have sinned against me, him will I blot out of my book. Whoever sinned against him That's the one that will be punished. No one can be punished for your sins. Shemaiah, who spoke to Aiah face to face, here he is making atonement for the people, and he is offering himself. And Aiah is answering him with these words. He said, whoever have sinned against him, they are the ones that will pay the price. Nobody will pay the price for another man's sin. And he tell him in verse 34, therefore now go, lead the people unto the place. Lead the people. Go, get out of here. Go and lead the people to the place. The place that I have spoken unto you. And he tells him, behold, my angel shall go before you. But nevertheless, in the day when I visit, I will visit their sin upon them. I am saying to him, I know all what they're doing. Your duty is to go with them, to carry them to the place that I told you you have to carry them. Which place was that? That was the place that is called by Aiah's name. That place is called by his name. That is his land. His people is called by his name. The land is called by his name. And his people has to go into the land that is called by his name. I now take you to Genesis chapter 22, and I will begin from verse 1. And it reads, and it came to pass after these things that Aiah did tempt Abraham, and said unto him, Abraham, and he said, behold, here I am. And he said, take now thy son, thine only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of. He said, get to Moriah. That's the name of the land of Aiah. Moriah. That here Aiah has given you his name. He's just told you his name. His name is Aiah. Moriah, Aiah, means Aiah land. The very place that Aiah told us earlier that we will have to go to offer our sacrifice is the very place he have chosen and called by his name. It's the very place he was telling Abraham, the founding father of our nation, that he had to offer his only son as a sacrifice unto him. And when Abraham went to offer the sacrifice, read the chapter, you will see what happens. My dear brothers and sisters, Aiah has given us his name right here in the word Moriah. He says, he said, take now thy son, thy only son, Isaac, thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee. So the land is Moriah, Aiah land, and the mountain is Aiah mountain is called Mount Moriah. Mount Moriah. Mount Moriah is in Aiah land. Aiah land is in Jerusalem. Jerusalem was the home place of the tribe of Judah, the tribe that was called by his name. In that tribe was a king called David. David was the king of Judah. David is the one the Most High promised he will raise up unto us in the latter days. My dear brothers and sisters, here I have given you Ayah's name as he has given it unto us in the book. When you read this book and you see where he told him to offer that sacrifice on his holy mountain, the mountain is called by his name and the land is called by his name. The land is the land that he have chosen. In the ones that I've read to you, where he says that in Deuteronomy 12 verse 5, but you shall seek Ayah at the place which Ayah your Redeemer will choose from all your tribe to establish his name there for his dwelling place. Ayah has chosen Jerusalem, and he has set his holy mountain, he has set his name on his holy mountain, which is called Mount Moriah, and his land that is called Moriah. It is called by his name, Ayah land, Ayah mountain. May I hope you comprehend this, and there is many more you can search through the scriptures, but this is my time for now. I hope you will use it to your benefit and learn and search the scriptures about Ayah's name. My dear brothers and sisters, I will give you a few more names. My dear brothers and sisters, Zechariah has given us a straight message. I will read it to you at this time. It is in the book of Zechariah chapter 13, and I begin in verse 8. And he says, it shall come to pass that in all the land, says Ayah, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And Ayah will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on Ayah's name, they shall call on Ayah, and Ayah will hear them. Ayah will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Ayah is our Redeemer. My dear brothers and sisters, I encourage you to adhere. Do not forbear. The voice in the wilderness is pleading with you. Do your own search. Find his name and call it. My brothers and sisters, we are in a late period. There is not much more time for us. We are dropping like flies already. Hear the word of Ayah. Hear the word of Ayah your Redeemer, and call on his name. Keep his commandments and do them. Hope in his promises. Take his promises into your intellect and comfort yourselves, and pray to him and ask him to guide and to protect you, to make sure you eat and you drink. My dear people, the children of Israel and Judah, the voice in the wilderness is pleading with you. Ayah is not hearing you calling on his name. Ayah is not getting your prayers. You are giving your prayers to idols. You have given your prayers to Baal. You have given your prayers to the deities of the nations. You Israelite, you are from the tribe of Israel and the tribe of Judah. Ayah is begging you to call on him. He is waiting on you to say, he is my Redeemer. Ayah is my Redeemer. He is waiting to refine you He is calling you. He wants you to call on him. I will reread the last verse, and this is in chapter 13 of Zedekiah, and it reads, "And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on his name, and I will hear them." I will hear you when you call his name. You are not calling on his name, my people. You are calling on the name of Baal. When you use the word Lord, you are calling on Baal, Baal. You are not calling on the name of the Most High. When you use the word God, you are not calling on the name of the Most High. When you use the name Jehovah, you're not calling on the name of the Most High. When you use the word Yahweh, you're not calling on the name of the Most High. Yahuwah, you're not calling on the name of the Most High. Yah, you are not calling on the name of the Most High. The Most High have just shown you his name. I have just given to you in this video. His name is Aya. His holy land is called Moriah. His holy mountain is called Mount Moriah. His land is Aya. Your people, his people is Israel, Aya and Judea. Hear the voice in the wilderness. Answer and call Aya, my dear brothers and sisters. I will read another part of Zechariah. I will go in Zechariah chapter 14. I will start in verse 1. Behold, the day of Aya cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken. My dear brothers and sisters, when Zechariah was telling them this would happen to them, they did not believe. When he was telling them, they did not believe. When Jeremiah was telling them, they did not believe. My dear brothers and sisters, when the prophets was telling them, they did not believe. Please start to believe. Start to do your search. My dear brothers and sisters, do your search. Listen to what Jeremiah said. In Jeremiah chapter 32, we begin in verse 37. Behold, I will gather them out of all the countries wherein I have driven them in my anger, and in my fury, and in my great wrath. And I will bring them again unto this place, and I will cause them to dwell safely. And they shall be my people, and I will be their redeemer. And I will give them one heart and one way, that they may fear me forever, for the good of them and of their children after them. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them, that I will not turn away from them, to do them good, but I will put my fear in their heart, that they shall not depart from me. Yea, I will rejoice over them to do them good. I will plant them in this land assuredly with my whole heart and with my whole soul. For thus says I, like as I have brought all this great evil upon these people, so will I bring upon them all the good that I have promised them. And the fields shall be brought in this land, where you shall say, it is desolate, without man or beast. It is given into the hand of the Chaldeans. Men shall buy field for money, and subscribe evidence, and seal them, and take witnesses, and the land of Benjamin, and in the place about Jerusalem, and in the cities of Judea, and in the cities of the mountains, and in the cities of the valley, and in the cities of the south. For I will cause their captivity to return, says I. Listen to your Redeemer. Listen to your. Here Jeremiah in chapter 3 verses 3 in chapter 33. Call unto IAH, and I will answer you, and show you great and mighty things which thou knowest not. For thus says IAH, the Redeemer of Israel, IAH, concerning the house of this city, concerning the house of the king of Judea, which are thrown down by the monks that are by the sword. Praise IAH. Jeremiah chapter 30, verses 10. Therefore fear not, O my servant Jacob, says IAH, neither be dismayed, O Israel, IAH. For lo, I will save you from far, and your seeds from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make you afraid. For IAH is with thee, says your Redeemer, to save you. He will, although he will make a full end of all the nations where he have scattered you, yet IAH will not make a full end of you. But IAH will correct you in measure, and will not leave you altogether unpunished. Thus says IAH. My dear brothers and sisters, we have to confess our sins to IAH. We have to call his name. We have to thank him for all that he has done for us. We have to believe in his commandments and do them. And we also have to hope in his promise. My dear brothers and sisters, we have to do this. We must do it. All praise be to IAH. All praise be to IAH, our Redeemer. All praise be to IAH.